action.
Welcome everybody, thank you for coming. This week's Parsha is Parashat Pinchas.
Cool.
We had Balak and Bilam last week. They try to, get the Jewish people to die somehow. They were trying to curse us. They were trying a lot of ways to do it, but none of them were successful. This week, Bilam tells Balak, he says, I have an idea for you. I know how we're going to kill the Jewish people through the inside. We're going to make them sin. He told Balak, who was the king of Midian, he said, let out all your girls and let them make all the Jewish men sin. And like that, we know they, seduced them, and they first, they said, come, we're gonna, I think it was in the caves, they said, they put the old woman in the caves, they said, the sails are on the inside, the good sails, the good clothes, They tricked them into coming into the caves, and over there, they were tricked into Gilu Arayot.
That's crazy.
And not only Gilu Arayot.
Old woman?
They put the old woman on the outside. And the old woman said, they were selling stuff, and they said, all the sales, the outlet stores are inside the cave. And then they went inside the cave.
Voila.
And their young ladies were there, and the girls were over there. And then
Did they get punished for that?
Who get punished? Midian?
Yeah.
The Jewish people? Yeah, there was a whole plague. 24,000
How is it
people
their
died.
fault?
200,000 people.
I mean, how is it their fault?
How is it their fault?
Because they fell into Gilu Arayot. And
But
not
how do
only
you
that,
control yourself in that situation? Like that's a
you're
crazy
supposed
test.
to,
You get
you're supposed to run away.
Yes.
Every person has a choice. And not only that, they first said, go worship the Avodah Zarah. Before you're going to be with us, you have to first go bow down to this idol. And they had to first serve the idol. So they fell mamash so badly. And there was so many Jews that died.
Can you give us
This
an example
was-
to today's state?
This was Balak and Bilam's plan. Okay? This is how they got them. Zimri, the president of Shevet Shimon, the tribe of Shimon. He took the princess of Midian, Kozbi Batsur. He took her by the hair and he brought her to Moshe Rabbeinu and he said, is this woman allowed to me? What did Moshe say?
No.
Moshe said no. You know what he says back?
Your wife is.
He says, who said your wife's allowed to you? How come you get to marry the daughter of Yitro, who is from Midian also? That's it. Didn't say a word. He took the girl to the tent and he was going to be with her.
He was with her.
And he was with her. I was just saying he was going to be, because then Pinchas comes in and Pinchas says, I remember the halacha. It says, Moshe forgot the halacha. He didn't know what the halacha is. Someone who's sleeping with a goyish woman. What's the halacha? Moshe didn't know. Pinchas says, Moshe, you taught us. Moshe, you have to run, take a spear, and you got to stab the guy at that moment.
That's what he did?
You know that even applies nowadays. You see a Jew, don't do this, don't try it, but if you see a Jew at that exact time that he's with the goyish lady,
In public or was
you're
that?
able to kill him
No.
at that exact moment.
He was in a
Why?
tent.
So
Why?
Pinchas,
I thought it was in front of the whole assembly.
Publicly or privately?
guys, he was in the tent, but everyone knew what he was doing, you understand? He was in the tent. So Pinchas says, I remember the halacha, and he runs inside the tent and he kills Cosby and he kills Zimri. So the question the Midrash brings down, well, first of all, before the question, it says Moshe forgot the halacha, and it says because of, why he forgot the halacha? Because Hashem wanted Pinchas to kill them and get his reward. What was his reward? Pinchas' reward was he's going to be eternal, and he was going to become a Kohen, and all his descendants were going to be Kohanim. That was his reward. And it says Moshe, however, was punished because of his laziness, because he didn't know, and he wasn't quick to act. And because of that, Lo yada ish et kurato. No man knows where Moshe is buried. His punishment for not acting was, no man will ever know where he is buried. Okay? Because shetzarich ha'adam liot az kanemer v'kal kanesher la'asot ritzon kono. A person has to be swift like an eagle and bold as a leopard to do the will of his creator.
But he forgot the halacha. How could he get punished?
Say better.
He-
If Hashem made him
Hashem made him
forget
forget
the
the
halacha, why is he getting punished? Amazing question. Who asked this? Zera Shimshon. This is question number one. Question number one is, if Hashem made Moshe forget the halacha so that Pinchas will kill them and get rewarded, why is Moshe blamed for being lazy? Question number two, what does not knowing your burial place have to do with the sin of being lazy?
No one can come and pray to you.
One more time, listen to what I'm saying. What does the sin of being lazy and not acting quickly have to do with not knowing your burial place? Understand? That's question number 2. Question number 3, the Midrash ends off that Hashem is exacting with tzaddikim to the hair. Even a little small hair, so thin you can't even see it, Hashem is exacting with them. That's how he was exacting with Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was slow to act, he got him. Question is laziness a small midah? You teach a lot of midot, right? Is laziness a small midah or is it a big attribute that we have to fix?
Depends who, but it's pretty decent.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's an avera. If you're lazy, you're doing something wrong. Why is it considered a small avera, a little small thing that Moshe Rabbeinu did wrong? What do you mean? He was lazy. Person who's lazy, he's called like a nothing. He's just killing his life. So the 3 questions are: 1, what was the question? First question you just asked.
Why is Moshe punished if Hashem forced him to forget it?
Why is Moshe punished if Hashem forced him to forget it? Number 2, what is the punishment of not knowing the burial place? What does that have to do with the sin? And number 3, isn't laziness a big avera? So yesh tomar shekatvu mikubalim shepinchas yad etaken pegam yitro. So this is a beautiful concept. It says, what was Pinchas doing when he killed Zimri and Cosby? It says he was rectifying the neshamot of a few people, we're going to say right now. All his great-grandparents. His great-grandfather was Yitro. He was a descendant of Yitro. Yitro used to do Avodah Zara, like we all know. He was a priest to, many idols. So he killed Cosby and Zimri, rectifying Yitro's mistake of idol worship. He was also the descendant of Yosef HaTzadik. He was the descendant of Yosef HaTzadik. And what was Yosef's avera? Gilui Arayot. Gilui Arayot,
So he was the descendant of Yitro and Yosef?
And Yosef, yes. And it says, what was Yosef's avera? Yosef was about to do the sin with Potiphar's wife. And he was already there. He was already going to do it. And then what happened? He saw the image of his father, But because he already initiated the act, he's already going to be blamed for the Gilui Arayot. He's going to be blamed for the immorality. And because of that, Pinchas had to rectify Yosef HaTzadik too. Okay? Then Pinchas had to also rectify his uncles. What did his uncles do wrong? Who are his uncles? Nadav and Avihu. Nadav and Avihu brought a foreign fire into the Mishkan. It's called Avodah Zara. And they never got married, which is a sin in marital relations. So there's 4 people that need a rectification in either one of the sins of Gilui Arayot, which is immorality, or Avodah Zara. When Pinchas stormed into the tent without anyone, he didn't care about nobody. Imagine you're storming to Trump, the president, his house, with a spear. You don't think no one's going to shoot you?
You're obviously going to get shot.
You're going to get shot. You think Pinchas, he's marching into the president of Shimon's tent. You think the Shimon guys are not going to kill him? You know how scared you would have been? You would have never done that. Would you have done that? Not a chance. He went, he sacrificed his life, and through that he was able to rectify all 4 people, Yosef, Yitro, his 2 uncles, Nadav and Avihu. He was able to rectify their sins when he killed Zimri and Cosby. Why? Because what were the sins? They were doing Gilui Arayot and they were doing Avodah Zara. So Pinchas needed to rectify them. So that's why Hashem wanted Pinchas to kill and now Moshe to kill. Now what was Moshe and Aaron doing? Moshe and Aaron were crying. When Zimri came to them with the girl, they started crying. They didn't know what to do. They felt like they were just lost. And it says, Yonatan ben Uziel explains, they were crying and they were saying Kriyat Shema. They were saying Kriyat Shema. V'kasher, what does Kriyat Shema have to do with a guy who's about to sleep with a Goyish lady? Guy that's about to sleep with a Goyish lady. Shema Yisrael Hashem. What are you doing? Go do something about it. What was Moshe doing by saying Kriyat Shema? You understand the question? Mm-hmm. What was he doing? So the Gemara Megillah says, everyone probably knows this. If a person feels anxiety and he feels fear, what is he supposed to do? All of a sudden, he doesn't know why. He just has this pachad inside of him. What's he supposed to do? The Gemara Megillah says, say Shema. If you were like walking on the street, all of a sudden you just feel like something's off. You feel scared. You feel something. You don't know why it's there. Right away you should say Kriyat Shema. And like that's how it's going to remedy it off. It's going to take away your fear. Now, why do you have this fear? Because your mazal, your spiritual counterpart in Shamayim, senses something wrong. your subconscious is sensing something not right. And because of that, we have to say Kriyat Shema.
The whole thing or just Shema?
The whole thing. Shema Yisrael, V'ahavta, V'aya, V'yomer, till Emet. You have to say all of it. If you feel this anxiety. So same thing was happening with Moshe. Moshe felt at the moment when Zimri came to him, he felt like something was supposed to happen. He didn't know what. His Mazal saw that this was Pinchas' moment. This was Pinchas' moment to shine. So he said Shema, and with his Shema it says V'od she'itris neged HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'farhesia. He was just so astounded at this whole entire act that was going on. The chutzpah that Zimri had to talk to Moshe Rabbeinu with such a chutzpah. Who let you marry the daughter of Midian? He was about to sleep with the princess of Midian, basically in public.
Did he kill the girl?
Who killed the girl? He killed the girl. First he killed
Oh,
the
they
girl.
killed both of them?
Killed both of them with one spear.
One speed. And raise it up.
You stabbed both and you raised them up to everyone could see
Plus.
them. What?
Plus.
It's a plus? What does that mean? It's a plus.
Continue.
Okay. So his mazal, his subconscious saw this is the moment for Pinchas. So what did he do? He said Kriyat Shema, and with the Kriyat Shema, Pinchas went and killed. Now this is the simple meaning. The deeper meaning of what the Kriyat Shema was doing.
Why do you get punished?
Why? Who get punished?
Moshe.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that right now. So the Rav Mifano, he says that Moshe was trying to fix the heavenly roots so that the spiritual harm caused by Zimri's action will not increase. He was disconnecting Zimri, which was the president of Shimon that was doing the forbidden act. He was trying to disconnect him from his source of life. With his Kriyat Shema, he was trying to cancel Zimri's life in Shemayim. He was basically killing him up there. How is a person sustaining in this world? How are you right now living? You have this pipe that's connecting you to Shemayim. And every second Hashem is feeding you with life. Every single second He's sustaining you. If it would stop for a moment, what would happen? Chas v'shalom. Person would die. So Moshe Rabbeinu was saying Kriyat Shema in order to kill Zimri on a spiritual level and thereby terminating his life. That's it. He was killing him. She'arashan yikra chalal. He was going to make him desolate of holiness. He was going to take away all his spirituality. And when a person doesn't have any spirituality, when you don't have your neshama, what happens to a person? Dead. Ati shapir haremesh kadmonim. V'nikra atzlut. So now, this was what Moshe Rabbeinu was doing. He was getting rid of his life on a spiritual level. What was Pinchas doing? Pinchas was doing it on a physical level. So they were basically partners. Moshe was doing it on the ruchniyutik level. He was doing it on the physical level. So Moshe wasn't lazy, but he was a little bit lazy. He didn't just forget about Zimri, didn't do anything about it, but he didn't take action down here. He was doing some, Kabbalistic stuff in Shamayim, and he was trying to get rid of his life. He should have just took a spear and stabbed him like this. He should have done it at that moment.
He didn't do the act yet.
What?
He didn't do the
No, I
act
was in
yet.
the middle of the act.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, he's right. He didn't do the act yet. How is he going to kill him? Because there's a rule. Beit Din, if you go to Beit Din, they have the right to kill anybody if they want. If they feel like someone is going against Judaism, they get to kill him on the spot. Moshe is the head of the Beit Din, obviously, right? So he was able to kill Zimri on the spot. You see someone is going against the Jewish nation. Kill him. You're the Beit Din. Get the Beit Din, kill the guy. And I feel him, he should still do, with the Hashem's name. How did he kill that Egyptian? What did he kill the Egyptian with? Shem Hashem. He said Yud Kei Vav Kei, whatever he said, and all of a sudden the guy died. Do the same thing to Zimri. Why aren't you killing him right now? Forget about the halacha, that you don't know what the halach is. Kill him straight. Get Beit Din, kill him, or use your Shem Hashem, the name of God, the special name of God, and kill him. The fact that you didn't do so, says Hashem to Moshe, you will be punished. You will be punished and no one will know your burial. But Pinchas, pa'al va'asa bizrizut gadol. What did Pinchas do? Pinchas got up and he went with zirizut. What's the English word for zirizut? Alacrity. Yeah? Alacrity. He went with quickness and he went and he killed. He took Moshe Rabbeinu's Kriyat Shema and he used that power of Moshe Rabbeinu's Kriyat Shema in order to help him kill Zimri. How many words are in Kriyat Shema? No one knows?
248.
There we go.
Huh?
You went to yeshiva, right?
The amount of limbs you have, no?
Exactly, the amount of limbs you have. So you have 248 words in Kriyat Shema. It says in the pasuk, Vayikach romach biyado. It says, and Pinchas took a spear in his hand. What's the gematria of romach? Spear.
288.
Reish, mem, ched. What? 248. Good job. He took the 248 words of Kriyat Shema in his hand, and with that he used it to stab Zimri. And what's the gematria of malach? He turned into malach, right? It's 91. What do you do when you're saying Kriyat Shema? What's the mitzvah? You know, if you don't have this kavanah when you're doing Kriyat Shema, you're not yotzeh. What's the kavanah you're supposed to have? Yuchud Hashem. I'm unifying Hashem's name. You have to have, when you're saying Kriyat Shema, I'm unifying the name of God. When you take two names of God, Yud Ke Vav Ke and Amunai, and you put them together, the gematria is 91. Because he took the Kriyat Shema in his hands, which was the spear, the 248, and he stabbed the people doing the bad action, and he stabbed them using the spear, he was zochet to become a malach, which is gematria 91, because he unified God's name, which is also 91. He became an angel. And we asked earlier, what does the sin of not knowing the burial place of Moshe have to do with this sin? What does it have to do? What's this punishment? The answer is, do we humans know the burial place of Moshe?
No.
Who knows the burial place of Moshe? Hashem and the angels. If Moshe would have done this act of going to kill Zimri, you know what he would have became? He would have became an angel as well. He would have became a malach, and he would have known the place of his burial. You understand? Yes, he wouldn't have been buried because he would have been an angel, but it's saying he would have known it because he would have been on the level of an angel.
Do we have no idea where he's
We
buried?
have no idea. You know, there's a joke. You know the Rebbe of Lubavitch? We know where he's buried, but we don't know that he died. Moshe Rabbeinu, we know that he died, but we don't know where he's buried. Yeah? So we don't know where Moshe Rabbeinu is buried.
Wait, so he didn't die?
That's crazy.
Who?
The Rebbe?
Pinchas never died.
No, the Rebbe?
Oh, no. Of course he died. The Rebbe died, don't worry. He died. So yeah, just to understand everything together. We have Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu forgot the halacha of what you're supposed to do when someone's sleeping with a non-Jewish woman. Pinchas remembered it. Pinchas remembered it and he said you have to kill him on the spot. By killing Zimri on the spot, how many people did he rectify?
4.
4 people. His 2 great-grandparents, which were Yitro and Yosef HaTzadik. Yitro was the sin of Avodah Zarah. Yosef was the sin of immorality. Nadav and Avihu also had the sins of Avodah Zarah and immorality. By killing these 2 people, he rectified the sins of immorality and Avodah Zarah. Moshe Rabbeinu, what was he doing when he was crying and he forgot the halacha? He was saying Kriyat Shema. Why was he saying Kriyat Shema? Because he got afraid. When a person gets afraid all of a sudden, what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to say Kriyat Shema. With his Kriyat Shema, what was he actually doing in Shemayim? He was cutting off the source of life from Zimri. He was killing him on a spiritual level. And with this, Pinchas was able to use his Kriyat Shema, his 248 words of Kriyat Shema, and he was able to kill him with the spear, which is also Gematria 248, and he was able to kill Zimri. And because of that, he was zochet to become a malach. Malach is Gematria 91, which is the same Gematria of the unification of God's name, which was Kriyat Shema, when you're unifying Hashem's name. And Moshe Rabbeinu, we don't know where he's buried. That was his punishment, because if he would have done this mitzvah of going to kill the president of Shimon while he was doing Gilui Arayot, he would have become on the level of an angel. And angels know the burial place of Moshe Rabbeinu. Now I just want to speak about one other point, is that how does a person, we asked earlier, you asked, right? How are you supposed to save yourself from this sin? He asked that, right?
Impossible.
No, it is possible. Why does a person fall into these temptations?
Was it Gilui Arayot though?
Yeah.
Isn't Gilui Arayot with the married woman?
No, there's many Arayot. Whatever, it's not even Gilui Arayot. You're saying, okay, you're sleeping with a non-Jew. It's even worse. It's even worse. It's in the area of immorality. Well, you asked the question, how does a person save himself in the temptation? Yes? So the way a person does this is that he has to be satisfied with whatever Hashem gave him.
Wow.
And to bring out a mashal for this, I saw in the Ben Ish Chai.
That's easy.
Wait, I'm going to explain.
Not easy.
I'm going to explain. There's a mashal, there was a guy,
It was easy.
there's a wood chopper. Guy's job was to cut wood. And every day he would go into the forest and he would chop trees with his axe. And he would sweat in the sun, in the heat of the day. He would chop wood. Then he would pile the wood on his shoulders and he would carry it to the city. And then he would sell the wood. And every day he would come home with a few dollars, few pennies, nothing. One day he was chopping wood in the forest. And while he was carrying it back to the city, it was so hot. It was like, you remember that heat wave? It was 105 degrees. It was mamash so hot. He just fell to the floor. He's like, Hashem, it's so hot. Why come I get this job? It's not fair. All these rich people, they live in these mansions and they have such good food. I live in some shack. I eat bread and salt. I have nothing to eat. I'm so poor. I have to work so hard, sweat, labor, He's crying out to Hashem and he faints. And he faints over there. And in his dream comes to him a young boy with wings. And he flies over to him. And he says, Hashem has heard your cries. Hashem wants to grant you one wish. What do you want that wish to be? What did the guy answer? What would you answer?
I don't know.
Guy right now tells you, one wish. What's the wish you're going to ask for?
Infinite wishes.
I wanna be a billionaire.
Infinite wishes.
So,
Infinite wishes. You and
More
David think the
advances.
same. The guy asks, everything I touch should turn into gold.
There you go. It's a curse.
And he says, the boy smiles at him and he
touch.
says, okay, it will be yours. And he goes and he flies away laughing. The guy is so happy. He's like, that's it, I'm going to be rich. He looks at his piece of wood, takes the piece of wood, he sees it turn into gold. Wow, he's already daydreaming. You know when the guy has a good business deal and you think you're going to make a lot of money, what do you start doing? You start daydreaming. When you buy a lottery, you know when you buy a lottery ticket also? What am I going to do with the $1 billion? How many houses am I going to buy? How many cars? Where am I going to buy? And this guy's already dreaming. He's in La La Land. He thinks, I'm going to go to the kings. They're going to ask me to touch their palaces. I'm going to make their palaces into gold. I'm going to make all their forks and knives into gold. I'm going to throw dust in the room. I'm going to touch all the dust. It's going to turn into glittery gold. And he's mamash in cloud 9.
Like that.
And what?
You guys share something.
Like Yaakov? And he takes his cup. And he had a little pitcher. He had a little pitcher, a clay pitcher, and he touches the pitcher and he turns into gold. He wants to take a drink. He wants to take a drink,
You can.
and he drinks the water. All of a sudden, the water turns into gold.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's it. He starts crying out to Hashem again. Hashem, what you do to me? Take it away. I don't want it. I don't want it. How am I I'm going to die right now.
Touching it.
In 3 days, I'm going to die.
That's what you're
Touches the tongue. I'm going to die. There's no point of this. It's not a blessing. It's a curse. And he's crying. Wakes up. It was all a bad dream. And he's like, wow. Hashem,
Like, how's that?
I appreciate everything you do for me. I appreciate the exact situation where you put me in. Because I know this situation's for the best for me. I wanted a lot of gold. I wanted to touch everything turn into gold. But really what I think is blessing, for me, it would have been a curse.
to make the connection.
And that's how we have to be in our lives. We have to realize that everything in our lives is exactly meant for us. Do you believe that Hashem created this entire planet? 100%. Do you believe that Hashem created the entire universe? 100%. You think He doesn't know what's supposed to happen in Sam's life?
Sammy boy.
You don't think He knows what's supposed to happen in your life?
Bruce
He
Wayne.
knows exactly what's good and what's bad. And I saw in the Shar Bitachon, he says the 9th level of Bitachon is that not only to believe in Hashem, that everything He does, right? He's in charge of everything. He's in charge of your business, how much money you make, if you're going to be healthy, if you're not. You have to believe that everything Hashem does is for your best. You have to wake up every morning and you have to believe I'm in the best situation that I'm in. And he brings a quote over there from a Chacham. A man with bitachon, he says like this. There was not one morning where I woke up and I was in a situation and I desired a different situation. Every morning you wake up, you have to realize I'm in the best situation I am. If you don't wake up like this, your life will be in depression. You're always going to be thinking, I could have made more. I could have done more. I could have got a better
How do you
this.
get rid of that thought?
I could have got a better
How do you get rid of
wife.
that thought?
I could have had better kids. Could have had more money. How do you get rid of that thought? You have to train yourself to realize that Hashem is number one. Hashem is the top. Hashem knows exactly what He's doing. Do you think you can outsmart Hashem? Do you know Hashem created you? And in 1 second, just like Moshe Rabbeinu was able to kill Zimri with his spiritual powers up in Shemayim, if Hashem cuts off your source of existence in 1 moment, you're done. So you think Hashem doesn't know what's good for you? If you believe everything is good for you, you're never going to be tempted to fall into sin. Why? Because you'll be like, why do I need that sin?
So you get pulled over, it was good for you.
Why do I need the sin? Do you understand? Do you understand the sin part? Why do I need the sin? Why do I need more pleasure than Hashem gave me? If Hashem gave me a certain amount of pleasure, that's all the pleasure Hashem gave me. If you go out for more, that means you don't believe everything is for the best. You understand now how you're going to fight it? How do you fight it? What's the remedy?
Thinking that you have enough.
Not thinking you have enough.
Knowing.
Knowing, that's the word, not thinking. You gotta know I have everything I need and everything I have is perfect for me. And with this mindset, we should live our whole entire lives with this emunah bitachon that not only does Hashem control everything in this world, but everything Hashem does for us is 100% for the best. Baruch Adonai Le'olam.
Amen.
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 Amen.